That's right. Mecha Godzilla. Mecha Godzilla is going to be in it. That's what I think is going to happen. Mecha Godzilla is going to be in it. He's going to be in it. I saw him. He's in the preview. He's in the trailer. Look at it. Look at it. It's Mecha Godzilla. It's right there. It's right there. Oh, my God. Do you see it? Do you see that? You know, I know a lot about Godzilla. I'm a big, huge Godzilla fan. That's why I made these 2 videos on my gaming channel that have nothing to do with my gaming channel, because I saw the trailer today, and I'm just like, oh, my God, this looks awesome.
Whoa, I'm not just small, I'm tiny. This is freaking awesome!
What up? Welcome to Tiny Pirate Gaming. If you haven't watched the first part of this video, then some of this might not make sense to you because it might be out of context. You got to watch the first part of this video and you got to watch it all the way through so you can understand what I'm talking about in this video. Because in this video, I'm talking about my theories for what I think is going to happen. And if you watched my first video, then you can maybe tell what I think is going to happen in Godzilla vs. Kong. But if you haven't, well, just keep on watching because I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen in Godzilla vs. Kong right now. First of all, what I think is happening in the Godzilla King of the Monsters universe is that after King of the Monsters, Monarch sort of split into 2 factions. I think there's a militant faction, and then there's like a good guy faction that is sort of run by the characters from King of the Monsters, the ones that survived, you know. And I think Monarch fractured because what's his name? Serizawa died, and the lady died, the lady right underneath of him, and there was really, and the other person, the other high-ranking person, betrayed the organization and joined the terrorists. So I think that Monarch has splintered. Now I am going to mention that I have a few different theories about what I think is going to happen. So, but all of them involve this one. Like, I'm pretty sure that this is a staple of what's occurred. Monarch has splintered into 2 factions. That's who this blonde guy is. This blonde guy is the leader of the one faction, and the dark-colored hair guy from King of the Monsters. Again, when I watch kaiju films, I don't care about the people. I honestly do not get to know their names usually unless they're like really impactful, like Bryan Cranston's character was, or Serizawa from the King of the Monsters and the one before the King of the Monsters. You know, he's been playing a vital part in all of it, so he was an inspirational character. Plus, he's based off Dr. Serizawa from the very first Godzilla movie. Anyway, that's what's happened within Monarch. Monarch has splintered into 2 factions, and the blonde guy is representing the militant faction, and they want to kill all the kaiju. Their goal in life is to kill all the kaiju, and that's why they're going after Kong, and they put this like prototype orca thing is what I think it is. It's using the orca signals, and they put a collar around King Kong's neck. Now what I think that collar is doing is sending out a frequency that's making other kaiju want to attack King Kong. That's what I think is going on, and I think it was a test. It's a test for 2 reasons. They think maybe King Kong can beat Godzilla, and they want to find out. You know, maybe that is inspired by the original Godzilla vs. King Kong movie, which was called King Kong vs. Godzilla, and I talk about it in my first video. So if you want to know about it, check out my first video. It was made in 1962, but it's pretty interesting. It's not that interesting, but you might learn some things. So go check out the first video if you haven't seen it. Again, it will put all of this into better context for you. Anyway, I believe also one of my predictions, that is a staple prediction that will happen no matter which theory I'm talking about, is the blonde-haired guy from the militant faction and the dark-haired guy from the good guy faction will have a fight. Whether it's a fist fight or whether they're shooting at each other or whether they have knives, or I don't know. But they will fight each other. I'm calling that. Anyway, the terrorists. All right, well, here's where the theories diverge. Also, wait, one theory that is correct is that the Kennys, or this plays through all my theories, is the Kennys. If you haven't watched my first video, the Kennys are the children characters of a kaiju film that share a spiritual or psychological connection to the kaiju heroes of the film. The Kennys of the film, the Kong girl, the Godzilla girl, and the new kid, who's the actor from Deadpool 2, they will all and possibly be connected with what I think is definitely going to happen in these movies, which is Mecha Godzilla showing up. He might be connected to Mecha Godzilla in some weird way. Anyway, the Kennys will learn the truth about the militant faction. And here's where the theories diverge. Either A, the militant faction itself is run by a wicked guy who's above the blonde guy, who's actually just like evil and in league with either A, the terrorist faction from the King of the Monsters film, or in league with actual aliens. And I'll go into this with the two theories I'm going to cover coming up. But the kids will uncover this truth. They'll uncover the truth that the Godzilla that we're seeing in the early parts of the film that is fighting King Kong, or the Godzilla that we're seeing attacking cities, isn't the real Godzilla. It is a Mecha Godzilla, built by either A, aliens, B, the terrorists, or C, the militant faction within Monarch itself. And that they built the Mecha Godzilla as a way to frame Godzilla because they wanted to ruin the image in the public's eye that the kaiju were good. Because after King of the Monsters, people felt Godzilla had saved the world from King Ghidorah, and the public probably, as you can see at the end of the movie, as they're playing like the credits, they're showing you that the people are starting to view the kaiju as good, that rainforests are developing where the kaiju have visited, like the kaiju are restoring the earth and stuff. So they're making it look like kaiju are really good guys. Maybe the militant faction wants to frame them as bad so that people will get along with wanting to destroy the kaiju, what I believe their goal is, which is why I believe that they would, A, either build Mecha Godzilla themselves, B, side with aliens who built Mecha Godzilla, or C, side with the terrorists who built Mecha Godzilla. And those are really the three theories that I have. Other than that, I believe that there will be a fight between Godzilla and Kong, and I believe it will be triggered by the collar that Kong is wearing that will attract Godzilla and all other kaiju. All sorts of kaiju will be coming after Kong. You will see. I believe Kong will be fighting all sorts of kaiju. And what makes me say this is because he fights the snake monsters. He fights the bat monsters. There's these bats that come after him. He's gonna fight kaiju. Like kaiju are gonna come after him for some reason. Or titans. Forgive me. I call them kaiju because it's a kaiju film franchise. They're called Titans in the Warner Brothers universe. Forgive me. Anyway, that's what's gonna happen, and that's why Godzilla, the real Godzilla, is gonna end up fighting him until Godzilla either A, breaks the component on his neck and the truth gets revealed, or the human good guys break the militant bad guys' control over King Kong's bracelet and it breaks free. And that's when the world will learn that the legend wasn't true, that Monarch didn't have all the facts, that actually the legend says that Godzilla and Kong are going to team up to fight something that the humans create that is bad. That's what I believe the ultimate story and the ultimate lesson they're going to try to push forward in this movie is going to be. And that's how I believe it's going to end, no matter which theory I go with, whether it's the alien theory or the terrorist theory or the militant faction theory. I believe that King Kong and Godzilla are going to team up to beat King Ghidorah. Now, how that happens, this is where the three theories really matter, is how that happens, because that could be the most epic part of the movie. And, it could be either Rodan shows up because Godzilla's getting the crap biscuits beat out of him by Kong. Rodan does the sacrificing himself thing just like Mothra again, which, again, I don't think they're going to go with this one. And he revives Godzilla. Godzilla gets strong again. Or Rodan breaks off the necklace so that King Kong knows, or that Godzilla knows, oh my God, this is King Kong. This isn't the sound frequency of evil that I thought it was. And then you learn that these two have a mutual respect and understanding for one another that goes back longer than any of the humans could ever know about, or it's a fake Godzilla the whole time. Like, it doesn't get revealed until the final fight, and King Kong has been fighting a fake Godzilla the entire time, and it's just been the military's attempt to defeat him, and nobody really knows where real Godzilla's been. Like, the military's just freaking out, and that's why everyone freaks out when he suddenly shows up, because they're like, we don't even know where he's been all this time. Like, how did he do this? How is he doing this? But really, he's really been, like, down in the hollow earth or in the underwater parts of the world, and he's just been down there the whole time, and he hasn't cared about this cry. He hasn't cared about King Kong because he already, he's just like, whatever. And he's like, King Kong can handle this. He's like, I handled the last one. King Kong's got this. And then he shows up at the end, and he's just like, well, once it all gets revealed, the collar gets broken, and like maybe Rodan helps King Kong, and then they're like both getting the crap biscuits beat out of them. And then real Godzilla shows up, and then he's just like, oh, they built a fake Godzilla, huh? The humans built a fake Godzilla. And then he just does he does like a big cry. He does like a big warrior cry. And then it's just like the kaiju version of Avengers Assemble, like this. He just does this big roar. And then all the other kaiju that were introduced in like the King of the Monsters franchise, they all just like rush to wherever it's happening, and they're just like all surrounded, and they're just like, yo, you humans can't go around building super weapons that can compete with us, because we're about to show you that we wreck stuff like that. Because notice, we've been here all this time, and you're still here. Like, we care about it as much as you as we do about, you care about ants and stuff. Like, you're nothing to us. So don't provoke us, and we won't mess with you. Like, but do provoke us, and we're going to do this to you. And then they're just going to wreck Mechagodzilla. The theory I really think is going to happen is that Godzilla and King Kong are going to fight a lot of times because of that collar thing. And eventually collar thing's going to get broke. But King Kong this is the theory I definitely think is going to happen. King Kong is going to knock Godzilla out. He's going to knock Godzilla out. And Godzilla's going to be like all beat up and stuff. And they're going to think Godzilla's dead, because Godzilla does that thing where he stops his heart and he just, plays dead and stuff. And for real, that's a thing that reptiles do, because I own 2 turtles. I am a turtle keeper. And my turtles, they like to hibernate, and they can like basically shut off their bodies. This is a cold-blooded animal thing. I've done my research about them. I know all about them. This is a cold-blooded animal thing. They can hibernate, and they shut off all their organs basically, and almost seems like they're dead, but they're not. And so Godzilla's doing this, and the military thinks he's dead, so they're like, release Mechagodzilla. And another Godzilla shows up, and then the good guys are like, what, there's another Godzilla? But the bad guys are like, yeah, this is actually Mechagodzilla. And boom, they reveal that's Mechagodzilla, and they're like, oh my god, it was Mechagodzilla this whole time. Mechagodzilla was the one destroying the cities. Mechagodzilla was the one framing Godzilla. Oh my god, it wasn't even true. And that collar thing was the reason that Godzilla was fighting him. Oh, you guys are jerks. You guys are jerks. And they're like, yeah, we're the bad guys. Of course we're jerks. Ha ha ha. We sided with the terrorists, or we sided with the aliens, or we're just playing out bad, and we don't like the Titans. We want to kill them. Ha ha ha. And then Godzilla and King Kong, or King Kong and will start to fight him, and then Rodan will come, because Godzilla will all be beat up, and Rodan will be like, oh my god, the king is down, I gotta get up there and find out what's going on. And Rodan will get up there, and he'll be like, oh my god, Godzilla's all screwed up. And then Rodan will do like the heal thing. He'll either sacrifice himself to give Godzilla his energy, or he'll just have like a heal move, like he's just like the white mage of the party, and he can do heal moves. And he casts a heal spell, and Godzilla's all like, oh, crap biscuits, I'm cool again. And then King Kong's like, yo, sorry about all that. I had this collar on me. It wasn't even me. And then Godzilla's like, yo, it's straight. It's all good, man. Let's bash up on this, let's bash up on Mechagodzilla. And then King Kong's like, yo, I got you. And I'm just trying to get back to my island, fool. These dudes just came and abducted me. He's like, I know, right? I don't mess with your island. He's like, I get it. You're like, that's a special place for you. There's a special place for you. You got the little Kenny girl there. He's like, yeah, I got my little Kenny. He's like, you got your Kenny? And he's like, yeah, my Kenny's off somewhere. The little girl that can scream, and then I show up. Like, he's like, yeah, I got my Kenny. And then, that's, and then they're just like, yo, Rodan, you could? And they're like, yeah. And then Mechagodzilla's like, yo, this ain't cool. And then they just bash up on Mechagodzilla. That's what I really think is going to happen. That's a theory that I really think how it's all going to play out. And that's what I want to say. That's my theory. Now, at the final part of this video, is I want to talk about the future of the Warner Brothers legendary Godzilla franchise. I don't know if they're making new videos. I do not have insider sources. I don't know if there's funding. I haven't checked. I don't do all that stuff. I get that stuff from other news people on YouTube, just like you all do. All I can give you is my personal analysis and speculation about what I think is going to happen. But for the future of the franchise, based off what I know about kaiju stuff, is that they can do a few things. If they, only introduce the terrorists in a limited capacity in this one and don't have them completely get eliminated, or they don't introduce the terrorists at all, and they just leave them off the radar and they don't tell us anything about what happened to the Ghidorah head. The Ghidorah head that got purchased by the terrorist at the post-credit scene of the King of the Monsters film. They don't even mention it. They don't say anything about it. If that is the case, then I believe that the next film in the franchise will see Godzilla and Kong and a reborn Mothra. There will be a reborn Mothra. For those of you who don't know, in the Toho original franchise, after they killed Godzilla in the 1990s in Godzilla vs. Destroya, they started a Mothra franchise, and they had a reborn Mothra because the original Mothra had died during the Godzilla run, and they brought back Mothra in a new revamped model. And reborn Mothra fought Ghidorah as their first enemy, because King Ghidorah is like Godzilla's biggest rival. It's like the biggest other kaiju other than Godzilla and King Kong. Mothra and King Ghidorah. That's like the top. That's like the Godzilla. That's like the kaiju hierarchy. The kaiju, they're the kings and the queens of the universe, of the kaiju universe. Anyway, I believe that the next film will involve a Mecha King Ghidorah being built by the terrorist and using genetic research, because at the end of this movie, I believe there will be another post-credit scene where we will see some sort of warehouse where they're in league with survivors of the militant monarch group, and they're bringing technology in to revive the Mecha King Ghidorah head to make sort of a cyborg. And when they see what happens, when they see that Godzilla will side with Kong, like their whole agenda was to either A, fight them individually, or B, try to get them to kill each other. And seeing that they have a mutual respect for one another and they won't kill each other, that they will actually team up to defeat something else that they view as a threat to the existence of the kaiju or the planet itself, they are like, we need to build another one, which then introduces another staple of the Godzilla franchise universe, probably the next most popular Godzilla kaiju, which I believe is Gigan. And for those of you who are unaware, after the first film came out, Toho got very involved with the Warner Brothers legendary universe because it was spiking up interest in Godzilla. And that is always good for the parent franchise of whatever fictional universe franchise has been created, is you want people interested in your product, obviously. So by introducing not only Mecha King Ghidorah in the next film, but I believe also a Gigan, they're going to be like, we need two of them. We need one to fight Kong. We need one to fight Godzilla. Boom, you got Mecha King Ghidorah, this monster that almost beat Godzilla, and then they build Gigan, which in the original Godzilla franchise was a cyborg alien monster that was rebuilt by aliens after they defeated a monster, and they reused its parts to revive it. Or they'll just introduce Gigan, and they won't do a Mecha King Ghidorah. They'll introduce a Gigan, and it'll be Godzilla, Kong, and a reborn Mothra versus Gigan. But I honestly think they're going to do two, so it can be like a 2-on-2 match, except they don't realize that a reborn Mothra is going to show up, and a reborn Mothra shows up, and reborn Mothra shows up, and reborn Mothra is like super OP. Like, first time reborn Mothra shows up, it's super OP and like just completely wrecks somebody, either Mecha King Ghidorah or Gigan or both of them, and they're just like, wow, this is crazy. And they defeat the terrorist. Finally, the terrorist will be defeated in that film. The Mecha King Ghidorah will be defeated. The Gigan will be defeated. And the good guy heroes, probably the Kennys. Maybe the Kennys will be even a little bit older. Maybe they'll be like running Monarch now. Maybe the older characters will be gone, and the Kennys will be in charge now. And the Kennys will defeat the terrorists finally, and we won't have to worry about that aspect of it. And then I believe there will be a final film in the series, and there will be one more film, and it will completely end the franchise. And in that final film, Godzilla will die. I'm predicting this now. In current year, January 2021, after Godzilla versus King Kong, or Godzilla versus Kong, There will be another film, and then after that film will be the final film of the Warner Brothers legendary franchise, and it will have Godzilla die in it, and it will have King Kong, possibly a baby Godzilla, and a reborn Mothra as the people who finish the fight at the end. And the villains, I believe there will be a lot of kaiju villains in this one. There won't just be one or two primary kaiju villains. There will be a few of them. And I believe it will be Destroya, it will be Hedorah, and it will be Biollante. Now, if you don't know who these kaiju are, again, this is a part 2, and I don't even talk about them in part 1. But there are other Godzilla YouTubers, and if you want to see more Godzilla content on my channel, because I'm mainly a grounded gaming channel, and I'm primarily going to do that content, but I just really love Godzilla, so I want to talk about it. But if you want to see more Godzilla stuff and you're like, who's Destroyer, who's Hedorah, who's Biollante, well, I'm going to talk about them a little right now. But if you really want me to talk about the films that they're in and like explain to you what happens in them, well, there's other YouTubers, I watch them, that do cool Godzilla, Godzilla stuff. I won't link to any of them because I'm lazy and I'm already putting out way more videos today than I ever usually do, as I'm sure you're all seeing. So I've been working my butt off. Just on my day off, just using my whole day off, and I got to go regular work tomorrow, so I'll probably work after that on video and stuff late into the night. But anyway, the other YouTubers can really get into detail on them, but if you want to hear me get into detail on them or about the films they're in or just about other Godzilla stuff, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, please like my video. Obviously, if you like Godzilla content and you really enjoy what I'm talking about, give me a like. It really helps me out either way. And if you want to see more Godzilla content from me, subscribe and let me know in the comments. Say, hey, I'm not here really for the grounded content. I just saw your video because of Godzilla, and I really like, how much you really know about these Godzilla stuff. I know a lot about Godzilla. I'm a big, huge Godzilla fan. That's why I made these 2 videos on my gaming channel that have nothing to do with my gaming channel, because I saw the trailer today and I'm just like, oh my God, this looks awesome. But anyway, this is the final film of the franchise. My theories about the future of the franchise, and it will involve Destroya, Hedorah, and Biollante, and these will be monsters that will be formed, not necessarily intentionally by mankind, but they will be monsters that mutate into existence because of mankind's use of A, the oxygen-destroying weapon in the King of the Monsters movie, B, just overall pollution and carbon emission or whatever from Hedorah that will form a pollution monster, and Biollante from genetically modified stuff. They will be trying to genetically modify some sort of monster, and maybe this is a faction of the terrorists who survive, and they're trying to just create another cyborg, but they end up doing something wrong, and they create Biollante. Destroya. That's what Destroya is in the original universe. The original universe is Destroya. It became a monster created by the oxygen-destroying weapon that they tried to kill Godzilla with in the very, very first 1950s Godzilla movie. The Hedorah is a pollution monster created by mankind polluting the ocean in the original Godzilla movie where Godzilla fights Hedorah. And the only reason I include Hedorah is because Hedorah is pretty popular. That's why I say Gigan is also pretty popular. There's a pretty well-known, popular kaiju all around the world, not just to hardcore fans of the Godzilla franchise. And Biollante is this plant-like monster that's super OP, especially in the Godzilla 2016 game, which, by the way, is not very good if you want like hardcore action fighting game, but if you're more of a strategic fighting game sort of person, this game is highly strategic. Like that Gundam, that free-to-play Gundam game is highly strategic. You don't move very fast because you're moving around giant robots. In this one, you're moving around giant kaiju. You don't move very fast. But in this game, Biollante is super OP. Like, it's ridiculous how hard Biollante is. But anyway, Biollante is this plant monster that gets created by a guy who's been working on Godzilla cells in the original movie. And he merges the Godzilla cells with plant cells with cells from his own dead daughter. And it turns into Biollante, this giant monster that Godzilla ends up destroying. But in that movie, Godzilla gets really messed up by Biollante. It's again, one of the most brutal fights in a Godzilla movie happens in Godzilla vs. Biollante. If you want to see kaiju brutality, that is a Godzilla movie for you to watch. But anyway, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my speculation, my analysis, my theories about what I think Godzilla vs. Kong 2021 is going to be about, and how I think the Godzilla Legendary Films Warner Brother universe is going to unfold into the future. The reason I say this is because I don't know if I'm going to make much more Godzilla content on my channel. This is not something I won't make unless I get a lot of comments that people really want this. This might just be something that might be a topic if I ever get to become a live streamer someday, if I ever get the technology going for that. This might just be a topic in like live streams that we talk about while I'm playing video games and stuff, or while we're playing games together. Primarily Grounded, obviously. It's the theme of my channel. But I also play other games as well. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, let me know in the comments. Say I liked your Godzilla video. It was really cool. And leave me a like. It really does me a favor. You know, it's doing me a huge favor. You know, whenever you leave me a like, it really boosts the views. It really boosts YouTube showing my video to other people. That's what it really does, is if other people are interested in the topics that I'm presenting through my content, if you leave me a like, it helps boost the chances that YouTube is going to show my video to other people who might be interested in the content that I'm producing. That being said, if you do enjoy my grounded gaming or just my overall personality and you want to see, you know, my content, you know, in the future, well then subscribe. That also really does me a huge favor. I really appreciate it, all of my subscribers. Once I hit like really high marks, or if I get a lot of subscribers from a certain video, I always do a shout out and really thank everybody because it means so much to me. And my goal here on this channel is to create something that's very interactive between me and the audience, interacting highly with the content I'm producing, and producing stuff that you all want to see. So in order for that to happen, there has to be open lines of communications and transparency, and that's what I want to see. So if you really like that sort of stuff, if you like a host like this, if you like content like this, well then consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out, and it really means a lot to me. And let me know in the comments, hey, I really like your Godzilla stuff. You should talk about Godzilla more, because I can definitely, I can totally talk about Godzilla a lot. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
Arg, matey, watch your step. There be a tiny pirate here.